The GORUCK MACV-1 is a lightweight combat boot and GORUCK's first shot at creating footwear. I'm Tom, the founder of Pack Hacker, where we use our expertise and real-world experiences to provide practical resources and honest opinions, guiding you towards smarter travel. So if you're new here, consider subscribing. Nathan and I have been testing the GORUCK MACV-1s, both the black version and the coyote version, for a cumulative of 5 months. So we're excited to dive in and share our thoughts with you. Let's check it out. The big draw of these boots for travel is that they are extremely lightweight. Despite the boots looking rugged and heavy, these smaller sizes come in at just under 14 ounces. Our black 10.5s come in at 16.4 ounces. So you can hold one in your hand and it's about the same weight as a soda can. At the time of this review, the MACV-1 comes in 2 different colorways, so the black and the coyote version. Nathan has been testing the coyote version for about 2 months, and I've been testing the black version for about 3 months. From a branding perspective, we have the GORUCK tip of the spear showing up on 3 different places on each shoe. So the first is on the back left heel. That shows up here. And one little detail that I like going on is that on each side they are reversed. So they are always pointing forward, and that is a nice little touch in this boot. You're also gonna have GORUCK on the tongue with that same mark that we've seen on the heel. So that's going on there. And then you just have an imprint on the rubber sole, again pointing straight forward on each one of the shoes as well. We think these boots look pretty great in a polished and urban environment, but beauty is always in the eyes of the beholder. That's why we pulled our Instagram audience over at Pack Hacker to get their thoughts. Feel free to follow us there if you want to be involved in future polls. Wrapping up some of the materials, we have this full grain leather going on the outside. We have molded TPU at both the toe and on the heel counter. So on the heel counter, it's basically a stiffer part of the shoe that helps prevent friction as you're walking around. There is 1,000 grade Cordura at the top here, and then some reinforced nylon webbing at the top. It gives that upper a little bit more flexibility, while the bottom is pretty stiff and reinforced. We have a thick EVA midsole going on here, and then a thicker rubber outsole going on there. So those two come together. The EVA foam kind of pads as you're walking around, and then that rubber outsole is there for added durability. Overall, these boots are comfortable, well-designed, and just feel comfortable to wear. Now, we could just stop there, but we want to drill into a couple of components and features that help with that comfort and versatility. Kicking it off with these speed laces. Basically, these are thinner 3mm laces that are used here that end up lacing and delacing, if that's even a word, a little bit quicker than 5mm. So the eyelets are a little bit larger. The shoestring itself is a little bit thinner. And you can just see that that really quickly becomes delaced just by pulling the shoe apart. They're also triple stitched in certain places for added durability. So especially down here where the upper attaches to the lower part of the shoe, you can see we have 3 rows of stitching going on here. And GORUCK is always trying to make the most durable products possible. They make really high quality stuff. And with this triple stitching, it shows their attention to detail to weaker points on the shoe and the areas that they're reinforcing. There's also a wide toe box near the top. And what that does here is it allows your toes to breathe and spread out a little bit more. If you're familiar with minimalistic shoes, these are in no way minimalist whatsoever with that huge, massive, thick padding that we have going on here at the outsole and the midsole. However, if you're familiar with minimalistic shoes, they typically have a wider toe box towards the top, gives your feet a little bit of room to spread out inside of the shoe. Just feels a lot more comfortable overall, especially as your feet get used to that. These shoes are not waterproof, and GORUCK is really going for breathability here. Instead of trapping all of that heat and sweat inside of the shoe, feeling like a microwave, as they do say it on their site. They have these shielding drain holes here at the bottom, which not only help with breathability, but they also expel any water that's been collected inside. And they are guarded drain holes, so they have a little bit of this kind of mesh material going on here, and that is going to keep dirt and sand from getting inside the shoe, but it's still gonna allow water to drain out, and the water just drains right out. It's actually pretty handy. Overall, the height of these is great, but if you want something a little bit taller, you could check out GORUCK's 8-inch MACV-1s that are in pre-order at the time of this review. From a break-in perspective, Nathan was able to hit the ground running. He has narrower and flatter feet, and from a break-in perspective, there was virtually none. He was just able to put these on right away, and they were comfortable for him. For me, on the other hand, it took a little bit of time to break in. My feet are a little bit wider with a high instep, and it probably just took a couple of days before it felt comfortable. The wideness itself was not an issue for me personally, but I did feel a little bit tighter towards the top here as I have a higher instep. So that took a couple days to feel a little more comfortable. Neither of us had blisters on break-in or anything like that. Our testing has pretty much been urban. We haven't gone trekking in a jungle in Vietnam like the GORUCK marketing video shows. Just been wearing them around Detroit, New York City, as well as Minnesota. We have seen a couple of permanent marks and scratches that have developed on the black version, but nothing really affecting the durability quite yet, just the aesthetic. Generally, they've been quite weather resistant and also dry quickly, especially if that insole is not on the inside. Plus, the materials in this boot are designed not to hold water, so they don't use any spacer mesh, which can retain a bunch of water. Generally, these dry pretty quickly. If anything does go wrong, GORUCK will cover manufacturing defects under their SCARS warranty. And the SCARS warranty is one of the best warranties out there. They don't cover ordinary wear and tear on the soles, just like tires on a car. You know, these are gonna wear down as you walk in them more. I mean, that's just how shoes work. And they're definitely not going to replace anything if there's fire damage, but they might give you a discount if you email them a cool story. And they're usually really great with their customers. They have pride in their product and they stand behind it really well. So to wrap this thing up with some pros and cons, starting with the pros. These are very lightweight and are a great option for travel. The speed laces keep things running smoothly and quick. GORUCK uses some high quality materials and craftsmanship to develop the MACV-1s. On to some of the cons. It can take some getting used to and breaking in if you have a higher instep. And on the black version, we have seen aesthetic scratch marks show quickly. The lighter weight of these shoes is what makes them really great for travel. They look solid when you're in an urban environment and perform well in the wilderness. We like the high quality materials and craftsmanship, including the fact that they're breathable and not waterproof. If you're looking for a lightweight boot on the road, the GORUCK MACV-1 could be a great option for you. So there you have it, our review of the GORUCK MACV-1 boots. We would love to hear in the comments below what you think of these things. Thanks for keeping it here at Pack Hacker, your guide to smarter travel. We'll see you in the next video.